BBC1. And talking of diagnosis...
You look shattered.
That's the third set of sheets I've washed in 12 hours.
How does he seem now?
Exhausted, poor lamb. Morning. Hello, Mum. Look what I found outside. Perfect for Ned's collage. Where is the little monkey? Asleep. He's been up all night being sick. Oh. Well, he must have picked up some bug. I overheard some mums talking about a nasty number that's doing the rounds.
We think it might be more serious than that. Food poisoning, maybe.
Really? He had terrible diarrhea, and his temperature went through the roof at one point.
We nearly took him to casualty. Did you feed him anything out of the ordinary yesterday, Lulu?
Oh, made him some pasta. Tuna, tomatoes, a few olives. He wolfed it down. Oh, I wouldn't worry. I'm sure it's some 24-hour thing.
Still, I think he should see Dr. Woodson.
Why don't I keep an eye on him today? And then, if he's still not well by tomorrow, I'll take him to see her then.
We've already made an appointment for this morning.
Oh.
Would you take him, Mum? I've got a deadline at lunchtime.
Yes, of course. If you really think it's necessary.
So, have you decided where you're taking me yet?
Sorry?
Our date.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? I was thinking about patience, of all things.
I like a man who takes his career seriously.
Oh, me too. Look, I hope you don't think this is too dull of me, but I thought we'd just go down the local, you know, the Icon Bar.
As long as you're taking me, I don't mind where we go. See you later.
Well, look at you two. Anybody would think you'd never met before. Morning, Nick.
Morning.
Morning, Joe. You just had a car sharing now?
And I thought the mill was supposed to be a warm and welcoming place.
It is.
Do you think Ned will be all right with your mum?
Yes, stop worrying. She said she'll take him to the clinic, and she will.
It's just, she seems to be getting more and more scatty about things.
Such as?
Well, hygiene, for starters. I don't think I've once heard her ask Ned to wash his hands before he eats.
Oh, she does. She just forgets now and again. You know, Mum, she's just a bit of an old hippie. She thinks the odd germ never did anyone any harm.
Well, I don't think that's fair on you when you're up all night nursing a sick child.
David, I know Mum's got the odd quirky habit, but she's been good to us. Not every family's lucky enough to have Grandma helping out with childcare.
So, run my roll by me again.
I take Joe, you take Nick. We each tell them that the other one wants to make a fresh start. Let bygones be bygones.
Can't we just go on pretending that everything's hunky-dory between them?
No.
It'll blow up in our faces.
Got a better suggestion?
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Thank you.
No more undercover work at the local massage parlour today, I hope.
No.
Good. You've done the right thing. Leave it to the police.
Yeah, I just hope they do something.
They will, but if you'd got any more involved, it would have got seriously dangerous. You know that, don't you?
Yes,
Good. So stay away.
I will. Promise.
Right. Well, it's a little bit high, but nothing to worry about.
So definitely not food poisoning.
I very much doubt it.
Do you hear that, Ned? Grandma hasn't poisoned you.
It's most likely a rogue bug.
I guess he picks stuff up off the floor and puts it in his mouth.
Yes, but don't all children his age? I mean, isn't it how they build up their immune systems?
Well, that is true, but it's best not to let him make a habit of it.
It's hard to keep your eye on them for 24 hours a day.
Tell me about it. I take my eyes on my little girl in the garden for 5 minutes. She's eating soil. What can I do?
Live with it, really. The human race hasn't survived this long without getting into a tiz every time a child comes into contact with a bit of dirt. My son-in-law has all these terrifying cleaning products that he wants me to use to protect Ned from germs. They're probably all cancer-inducing.
Well, I'm no expert on carcinogens. I think there's probably still a lot of research to be done.
Personally, I am all in favour of hot water, bicarbonate of soda and vinegar. It's much cheaper and just as efficient.
Some people, it's not just about the cost, though, is it? Maybe you could come to a happy compromise with your son-in-law and use one of the more environmentally friendly products on the market.
I suppose so. Do you know, I don't mean to annoy him. It just seems to happen.
Well, people's parenting habits differ, don't they?
Well, that's it. I mean, in my day, you didn't analyse and fret over everything. You just got on with it.
Well, you can reassure Ned's parents that with plenty of rest, enough fluids, infant paracetamol every 4 hours to keep the temperature down, this bug should pass through pretty quickly.
There we are. That's great, isn't it, Ned? Come on, then. Time to go.
Hello? Oh, thanks, Judy.
Joe, about you and Nick.
I didn't start this.
Well, it doesn't matter who started it. The point is, none of us are enjoying it.
Look, everybody has had enough of this bickering, and I don't just mean your colleagues. I mean, how would it look if word got out that the doctors at the mill hated each other?
Well, not great, I guess, but after what he put me through with Emily.
I was just trying to help.
Look, I'm sure if your daughter was turning to someone else for advice, then you'd be a teensy bit put out, wouldn't you?
I'd just be glad that there was someone sane around to step in and help out.
Look, Emily's gone. You two are still here. So please, for all our sakes, can't you just make an effort? I know Nick's sorry that it's come to this.
Is he?
Apparently. He just didn't want to make the first move in case you shoved it back in his face.
Really?
Yeah. He's very sorry that it's happened. He didn't want to make the first move because he thought it might be thrown back in his face.
I see.
Oh, hello.
I had a run-in with a cup of coffee. I had to change. How did it go at the surgery?
Ned's fine. He's got a bug. He just needs plenty of fluids and to sleep it off. He's in his buggy in the sitting room, having a nap. Risk another cup?
So, no prescription?
Yes, infant paracetamol. There's still some left over in the bathroom cabinet.
Is it still within its sell-by date?
Oh, yes, I think so. I'll just go and check whether Ned's awake. David, if I can't even make you a cup of coffee correctly, what hope is there?
You know, I don't think there is any. I watch you do the simplest task, but you never do it to an acceptable standard.
What?
You didn't wash the cup properly. You're making my son ill. You leave food on the plates when you wash up. You keep stuff in the fridge that's past its sell-by date. You bring rubbish in off the street and have Ned making pictures with it. Goodness sake, Lulu, a dog could have peed on half those leaves and twigs.
You're mad.
It's not me who's crazy, it's you. You're going batty in your old age, hoarding sweet wrappers and bus tickets.
Look, why don't you go back to work, and then when you've calmed down, we'll talk about this again.
I'm going nowhere. I'm not leaving you in charge of my son a moment longer. I'll take care of him today.
You're joking.
No, I'm very serious.
But you don't even know how to change a nappy.
Well, I'll go out and buy some disposables. It'll be a lot easier than having those revolting cloth ones you love so much, soaking in buckets all round the house.
Joe seemed very open to the idea that Nick was remorseful.
And Nick, too. Time will tell.
Ready when you are.
We did just say lunch at the local, didn't we?
Is there something wrong with the way that I look?
No, you look fantastic. It's just that I'm going to feel a bit underdressed now.
You look great. Rough and ready, just how a man should be.
I guess we'll see you later, Julia.
Have fun.
It's okay, we're just nipping out to buy some nappies. Maybe we should go out later when Mummy gets back. Oh, no. No, please, no. Nettie, hang on a moment. Daddy won't be a second. Just stay there.
Mum, where's Ned?
At home with David.
Why, what's wrong?
Oh, it's okay. Ned's fine. It's David. He's just fired me.
Mum, I could really do without this right now. What did you say to him?
What did I say?
Well, he must have said something to upset him. He wouldn't have sacked you for nothing.
I thought you might have a little more faith in me.
I'm sorry. I'm just a bit shocked.
Well, so am I. Your husband seems to think that I'm some sort of a health hazard and that I'm making Ned ill, even though Dr. Woodson wasn't worried about him in the slightest.
Well, that's good.
Yes, it is, because it's nonsense. I care for Ned in exactly the same way that I cared for you. May I point out that you were never ill, not once.
I know that, but I feel that I'm caught in the middle of you both here.
Well, I agree it's delicate. But if David continues behaving the way he's doing, I can't just walk back in there, Rosie. He's made it quite clear I'm not welcome.
He's probably just having a bad day. If I go home and talk to him, he'll think I've taken your side, and then where will my marriage be?
I'm quite keen to see how he manages on his own, actually.
Please, Mum.
Dr. Woodson, it's Ned Richardson's dad. You saw him this morning.
Oh, yes, how is he?
He's been very sick.
Well, the bug probably hasn't had time to work its way out of his system yet.
It's more than that. He's pale and floppy. I'm really worried about him.
OK, well, why don't you bring him back into surgery? I'll take a look at him.
I can't do that. I need you to come here.
I've got a lot of patients I have to see this afternoon.
I'm scared to move him.
Is Ned's grandma still there?
No, I'm on my own. Please. This is an emergency.
All right, I'm on my way.
Daddy's coming.
Absolutely. No way. Anyway, so I turn round and she's standing there, completely naked. So I said to her, well, just your jacket would have done, Mrs. Fox.
That didn't really happen, did it?
No. No, actually, she kept her underwear on.
Why aren't all GPs as funny as you?
Well, I suppose it's not their fault if they don't have my unique charm, is it? Anyway, doctors don't really like to be too amusing. It attracts too many patients.
Well, if you were my GP, I'd be inventing a new reason to see you every week.
Now, you see, I'd have thought that you'd be far too busy with strings of admirers to come knocking on a doctor's door.
I'm not sure on offers it's true, but not from anyone who I like enough to take seriously.
So you're single?
Until the right person comes along, yeah.
And what is it that you look for in a man, Renee? Just in case I might fit the bill.
Well, I like my men to be able to make me laugh.
I think I've proved I can bring a smile to your face.
Make intelligent conversation.
Ah, that might be a bit more tricky.
Don't be so modest. And I go for tall, dark, handsome types.
Well, I can manage the first two.
Oh, you've no worries in the looks department.
Why, thank you, kind lady.
How's he doing?
Just the same.
Is he in bed?
No, he's still in his buggy. Like I said on the phone, I didn't want to move him.
I think you might need to change his nappy.
I thought I'd wait until you got here before I did that, see what you thought. Do you think he might need to go to hospital?
Well, I'd like to get him cleaned up first so I can take a look at him, but I very much doubt it. All right, hello, little man. Where's your mother-in-law? I thought she looked after him in the afternoons.
She did. I sent her home. Rosie, can't talk. Dr. Woodson's here.
Do you think you could find me something we could maybe clean this up with?
Okay, but I just need to go and do something first.
All right. Look what I've got.
I'd really like to do this again.
Well, I'm always up for lunch.
I was thinking more along the lines of dinner.
Ah.
We could get to know each other better over a couple of bottles of wine.
You do know that I'm a married man, don't you, Renee?
I'd spotted the ring.
And that doesn't bother you at all?
Well, I wouldn't normally come on to married men, but then I find you very attractive.
The thing is...
You're a hard man to resist.
Do you know, that's exactly what my husband keeps telling me.
Did you say husband?
Yeah.
I don't believe this.
It's true.
Well, you could have told me earlier.
I'm sorry.
You don't look very sorry.
Okay, I was flattered.
Is this how you get your kicks? Letting women think you're straight?
No, I've never done this before. Ever. I just thought maybe you'd see the funny side, that's all.
Well, I don't.
Renee. What do you expect if you come on so strongly to married men?
Goodness, is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Ned was just a little bit sick and your son-in-law was worried, so he's called me out.
Where is David?
Did you call her and tell her to come back?
No, of course not.
So why are you here?
David.
Have you come to check up on me, see how I'm coping?
No, I came because Rosie asked me to.
I'm sorry, but what I said still stands. We need someone looking after Ned who we can rely on not to make him ill.
David, would you mind finishing up here while I just go and check on Ned?
I've just got to nip back upstairs.
Give it to me. I'll do it. Is Ned okay?
Your son's fine, Mrs. Richardson. It's actually your husband I'm a little bit worried about.
Can you let me in, please?
You've got the wrong door, darling.
No, I haven't.
This is men only, sorry.
David, are you all right in there?
Won't be a minute.
I thought you said you liked my sense of humour.
Not when I'm the joke.
You haven't been teasing her.
It was too good to resist.
Greg, honestly.
I know, it was a bit naughty, but I really thought she could take it.
Hey, I'm sticking the kettle on.
Oh, tea, please.
No problem, you too.
David, what's the matter?
Dr. Woodson, can we have that talk now? How can I leave him like that? My poor little Neddy, what kind of father am I?
You obviously couldn't help yourself.
I couldn't. I couldn't touch him. All I could think of was getting myself cleaned up first.
How often do you think you wash yourself a day?
I'm not sure. I wash my hands a lot. I've always been very careful about that. I probably have about 3 showers a day, maybe more at weekends.
Do you feel that that's a little excessive?
Not really. Well, Not until now. I've always thought of myself as clean. When Ned came along, I just got a bit more particular about things. I wanted to keep everything pure for him.
Well, with a baby, that's maybe possible, but with a toddler...
I know. But if things aren't just so, I can't cope.
What, like today?
Yes. I just get this thought going round and round in my head. I need to wash my hands.
Why can't he talk to me if he's got a problem? Well, maybe he feels more comfortable talking it through with a doctor.
So you do think there's something wrong with him?
Not necessarily.
But you feel well and truly vindicated if there is.
Rosie.
Mum, ever since you started looking after Ned, it's been a constant battle between you and David over who knows best.
This isn't a competition. I agreed to look after Ned so that you and David could go out to work. It's what you wanted. Grandma at home keeping house.
I know.
Do you imagine I bargained for all the abuse that's been landed on me lately?
It's not been that bad, has it?
I love being with Ned. I really do. But if it means a huge row every time I set foot in here, then there are 1,000,001 other ways I would rather spend my retirement.
Are you okay?
I think so. A little bit crazy, maybe.
Katya! Katya!
Every night when I come home, there are nappies in buckets, crumbs on the floor, toys everywhere, washing up in the sink.
Well, it sounds a bit like my house.
I leave it all to the end of the day and tidy up before I go home.
I know, but it drives me insane. All I want is to find everything as I left it, but it never is. It's always chaos. That picture, it's my worst nightmare. Just looking at it makes me want to wash my hands.
David, this is ridiculous. Ned really enjoys doing it.
I know.
Unfortunately, what most people consider to be rational isn't necessarily the case if you have obsessive-compulsive disorder. David needs his world to be clean in order to feel safe. You've probably noticed your husband's obsessions, but you've just not registered them, you know?
David's always been tidy. First to make the bed, first to pick up the clothes off the floor, and he's always been a stickler for hygiene. I just thought that was part of who he was.
Well, it is. It's just your mother's relaxed attitude has made David's compulsions worse. So by bringing her into the equation, you've probably just rocked the boat a little.
I didn't think it'd be such a big problem. I just really wanted my mum to look after Ned.
Well, at least it's out in the open now.
Exactly, and your condition is manageable. You just have to isolate why it is you feel the way you do.
That's what I want to know.
Well, talking one-to-one with a therapist will help, and there are plenty of support groups. So make an appointment with me at the surgery, and, well, we'll take it from there.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
I'll see myself out.
I owe you an apology, Lulu.
So do I, Mum.
It's okay. I happen to think that David is right. I shouldn't be looking after Ned.
Don't say that.
Rosie, darling, my habits and David's don't mix. There are plenty of experienced nannies out there who can look after Ned and achieve the required levels of cleanliness.
Mum.
It will save a lot of heartache in the long run. You and David and Ned are the only family I have. And I don't want to go through another day like today and risk losing you all. I'm taking this home with me. Tell Ned we can do it whenever he comes round to my house.
Please, you must go. Now. Your face needs looking at. You're making things worse for me. Can't leave you here like this. There's nothing you can do for me, okay? If they see me again, it will just happen again.
You better learn to keep that big mouth shut! Not before me and you have had a little chat.
So, are you up to anything nice this weekend?
Rugby's on telly. Might watch that.
Oh, rugby. Yeah.
Do you follow it?
No, it's not my sport.
Is that the best you two can do? I'm sorry, it's just not exactly the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
The police have got a lot of better things to do than worry about a few illegal tarts.
I don't think so.
Now you listen to me. You better start minding your own business. Otherwise, well, who knows what might happen.
Is that a threat?
Clever girl. Start to use that brain of yours. You've been warned. Next time, our little chat won't be so friendly. Do you understand?
The Brits, who are battling to save their Spanish homes from demolition in tonight's Real Story at 7:30. And next this afternoon on BBC1, Diagnosis Murder. The one to watch tonight.